Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Patana from Health Education and Academics Thailand, as H.E.A.T, Anti-Aging Thailand. I think during this time of pandemic, it's so important that someone have to talk about our immune systems. I know that wellness people who care about their health all the world always know that strong immunity is important for us to prevent ourselves from getting infected. So today's topic will be about immunity is our best defense. And don't worry, I will not say anything about social distancing. I will not insult your intelligence because I know that all of you have done the best you can. COVID-19, I know that everybody knows that COVID-19 is a pandemic happening by the infections which is new to us. But before I start talking about things, I want to tell you that I don't want you to believe me, but I want you to think with me, alright? So if you don't believe in anything I say, please read more and make your own decisions. So what is COVID-19? It's a new virus found in 2019. So I hope you know this, not like we found it 19 times. This is the first time that humanity have to face with this new kind of virus. So we don't have immunities against it. That's why so many people got infected. If someone have symptoms, usually the first week you will have fevers and dry cough. And if your immune system is strong, you get better in 7 days, about a week. However, about 20% of people will develop lung infections that we call pneumonias, and about half of them will have serious conditions because the immune system go crazy and start destroy the lung and the air systems. So some patients die from we call organ failures, multiple of them. However, some people who has COVID has no symptoms at all. How many of them? It depends on the number of your tests. People keep saying that the asymptomatic patients is 20%, but that is based only on from the Korea study. They test only about 1.5% of the populations, and they found 20% who is test positive for COVID have no symptoms. But if you look at a country like Iceland, okay, they test about 14% right now of entire populations, and they realize that among people who positive for COVID, half of them have no symptoms at all. I don't want to scare you. The reason I say this because I want you to know that you may be the one who already been infected, but you have no symptoms. So instead of wearing masks because you want to protect yourself, you should consider wearing masks to protect others. Because after all, you have the right to protect yourself. You have the right to protect your families and survive, but you don't have any right. You have no right to harm others. So what happens when our immune system fails? We get sick, okay? And why? Why we have problems about immune system right now? Why we have SARS, we have MERS, we have H1N1, and now we have COVID-19. People talk and try to tell us to stay home, but no one tell us why our immune system break down. Right now we eat only sugar and processed food, and lack of micronutrients like vitamin C and zinc in our food. Most people working in the office all the times, they don't have a time to exercise, they don't expose themselves to the sun to get vitamin D. Not to mention that I think we use too much drugs, antibiotics, and all toxins in the world, including P25. Overuse of medicines and obesity is none other things that cause our immune system to fail. Stress, lack of sleep, and aging itself. As you know, that COVID-19 had more severe symptoms in elders. So when our immunity declines, we get infections quite easily. But I would like to tell you that also something called cancer. And sometimes when you get infected, like old people when they have pneumonias, their immune system get crazy because the immune system is so dysfunction, including autoimmune diseases, all happening because our immune system is not normal. So can our immune system fight back? The answer must be yes. So when someone say, oh, we all gonna be infected, yes, but then our immune system can fight back. Okay, this is just a diagram show that during the first week your IgM antibody will be produced, and the second week it will switch from IgM to IgG, which is mean you can have lifelong immunities. However, if you don't detect your antibody in the blood, doesn't mean that you don't have immune against the virus. It's just because sometimes the small amount of immune system you cannot detect it, but if with the proper test you may be able to detect it. But definitely our immune system can fight back. This is the pictures of the study from 47 years old Chinese women who went to Australia. She got pneumonia and survived, and her chest X-ray clear within a week. And the study shows she have strong immune response, IgG, IgM and all. So it means our immune system can fight back. However, can we test this immune system? Can we test our immunities whether we are immune against the COVID-19? The questions, before you answer the questions, you need to ask yourself and what you're going to do next. Because right now, some authorities don't accept this test, this kind of test. You do a blood test from pinprick from your tip of fingers, and then you drop your blood, put some reagent in, and it comes into IgM, IgG. Okay, so it may be good if you have symptoms of COVID and the PCR test is negative. Maybe this test can help doctors to determine that you actually got COVID-19. But if you have no symptoms at all and you try to get this test, I think you should keep it to yourself, because right now people look at the people who get COVID as if they were HIV infections, and sometimes they don't understand. They will put you into quarantine. So if it's a positive, it could be false positive, it could be true positive. It could mean that you already got the infections but you don't have symptoms. What I want to say today is about severities of COVID. It's about immune system again. The study shows that people who have chronic illness have a worse immune response to COVID and got the poor outcome. One thing is high body mass index. It means if you are fat, if you are obese, you have a chance to have a severe disease from COVID-19. And all true with every influenza. When we talk about body mass index, I don't mean to talk about people who are the muscular man or bodybuilders. Ignore this message, okay? I'm talking about people who has high body mass because of fat. And fat people can get sick easily. And the study from H1N1 influenza and influenza type A show that it can prolong viral sheddings in obese people, because obese people cannot switch and produce immune system very well. That's why we should not wait until influenza vaccine become available. Some things like influenza vaccine that you are receiving right now, effectiveness is only 45%. This data comes from MMWR. So it means that effectiveness of the vaccine is not that great. But one thing for sure, most people, 80% plus people who got COVID recover with their own immune system. This means your own immune system is better than vaccination. So how are we going to keep your pandemics low without destroying economics? Let's say first you need to have a low numbers viral particles, like you have to isolate themselves a little bit, so to make sure that you don't get too overload of infectious materials. Keep it low, fine. But you need to think about your immune system, and the whole country need to think about the medical support. So I think that the number of cases is low and the medical support is ready, shouldn't be no problem. But then again, if the numbers of the infected patients is too many, and that would be a problem for the medical support, then we need to shut down the country. I understand if some of you have to go out there to make a living or to support your family. To ask you to stay home would be unkind and too ignorant. Because sometimes staying apart is not possible. Imagine when the news come in that, oh, we're going to have a lockdown tomorrow, and suddenly everyone flock into the supermarket and try to stock some things, try to buy a tissue papers. Or at the airport, when they start screening people, and imagine that you're frustrated because you have to be locked in there for 3 hours. During that time, only things can protect you is your own immune system. Or just like slum in Mumbai, train stations, only things that they have is their own immune system. So, why I believe so much about immune system, even someone just laughed at me. Someone predict that this virus will be with us for years. Yes, but what happened is, look at the Wuhan. 3 months in China, and everything's gone back to normal, almost normal. You know, Wuhan has been open, that city, for over 2 weeks without new cases. It means Wuhan has already developed something, immunities, that we call herd immunity. It means most people, majority of population in Wuhan, already been immune to the virus. Even though some authority try to say it's not real, but you have to face the fact that right now, Wuhan, there's no new case. Nothing can explain it. Is they already got immunity, so you cannot detect it by antibody or anything. This situation we call herd immunity. And people always think about vaccination. Let me repeat the regular basic of vaccine. What is vaccine? To receive vaccination, it means someone inject you with low dosage of infection. So when you got influenza vaccine, it means they inject you with a part of influenza itself. So I put it this way. Vaccination, it means scientists infect you. And hopefully you create immune against it. That is called not natural, it's artificial, immunity. Natural immunities mean you got it either from your mother in the womb or when you get infected by virus, by influenza, and you start building up your immune system against it. In the past, before we have vaccinations against rubella, we developed immunity against rubella. And many people in Thailand already have immune against hepatitis A, even though they never received vaccination. It comes naturally because we've been infected with small amount, the body can handle it. Same thing here. But the reason that we don't have drugs or anything, but 80% of people who got infected or more can get killed by themselves because the immune system can fight back. And once most people have immune against it, we call them herd immunity. But strong immunity can be created by food, by your lifestyle. So I would like to start with these interesting stories about how coronavirus flew into our cells. It needs acidic. We talk about all the healthy lovers, people in the world knows that alkaline diet is good for you and acidic diet is bad for you. Let me make it short. Acidic diet, it means the food that you eat and the body turn into acid. Sometimes you measure it as acid, but once it enters the body, it can turn itself into alkaline. For example, citrus fruit, if you measure the pH, it's acidic, but once you eat it, the body will make bicarbonate out of it, so it's alkaline diet. That's good for you. Because under the acidic conditions, the virus, this is the sample of the coronavirus. It's not COVID-19 because it's too dangerous to work on it, but another strain of coronavirus. And you can see from the pictures that the pH that is perfect for virus to enter the cell is around 5 to 6, 5 to 5.5. From this journal, virology knows that if you have certain amount of virus in your throat and you drink something during in the perfect pH like 5, you can be infected because the virus can enter your cells. Let me see. Red wine and soft drink has pH so low, usually it kills virus. But if you drink beer at a pH 4.2 or reverse osmosis water at a pH 5.9, that will be perfect pH for virus to enter the cell. So the first thing I recommend that you stop doing is drinking beer and reverse osmosis water. So what you should drink is something called alkaline water, pH above 7. It will prevent virus from entering cells. For some of you who have alkaline making machines, okay, alkaline the water filtration such as the Kangen and Clean, so you can use it. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you drink alkaline water such as mineral water, underground water like Sing and Chang water, and also soda also fine is alkaline water. I've been wondering why Japanese elders usually do better than Italian elders when they got infections. And one thing different, elders people in Italy, they drink espresso, right? What the old people in Japan drink? Green tea. So I searched through the green teas and found that actually tea catechins can have some prevention effect on influenza infections. You don't have to believe me, it's fine, but you can read, and I think it hurts. So right now I switched from my regular coffee to green tea. Also, we all have some bacteria in our body. We call it microbiomes. And there's so many studies to prove to you that actually this small bacteria can help us build a strong immune system for ourselves. This is very interesting studies in mice. This kind of mice, they don't get influenza. They don't get influenza at all because they have immunity against influenza because they can make interferon alpha. But then they give these mice antibiotics to kill their own microbiome. And suddenly this might get influenza infection. You see? It means anytime you take unnecessary antibiotics, your gut bacteria will die. So how to restore your gut bacteria or microbiomes? You should stop unnecessary use of antiseptic product, antibiotics. I don't care, you're going to inject antiseptic in the body. Some people even do a toothpaste with antiseptic. Antiseptic everywhere. It kills your microbiomes, and I don't think it's a good idea. You should not use long-term antacids that we call PPI or proton pump inhibitors. To support your own microbiome, you need to eat more vegetables and fibers. And if you want food that contain good bacteria that we call probiotics, you can eat something like stinky cheese, okay, blue cheese, or if you don't like cheese, you can do a natto. That's another thing that Japanese eat besides green tea, natto. Or for some of you, prefer the packagings, the probiotic supplements is optional. But what I want to say, you need to have good bacteria in your bodies. Vitamin D. There's so many studies about vitamin D that's proof that it's so important for your immune system. However, someone in Thailand say, oh, Thailand has a lot of sunshine, so we don't have to worry about vitamin D. It's not true. I guarantee if somebody tests vitamin D among people who have severe COVID-19 and people who don't have COVID-19 or asymptomatic, vitamin D will be the factors because it's been tested for other kinds of influenzas years after years and proved that vitamin D level is so important to protect you from influenza. If you don't believe me, why don't you test yourself if you have enough vitamin D? Why we have sunshine in Thailand and we can have vitamin D deficiency? Because actually vitamin D first barely found in regular diet. And actually when people think that sunshine creates vitamin D in our skin, we barely expose ourselves to the sun. We wear long pants, we wear long sleeve shirts. We don't wear shorts and we barely expose ourselves to the sun. We are office worker. And for some ladies, they always use sunblock, use umbrella. So a lot of things cause us to have low vitamin D. And for some of you think that milk contains vitamin D is not true. In America, milk contains vitamin D because it's fortified, but in Thailand it's not. And you know what? Older people tend to take drugs that cause statin, which is lowering cholesterol. So it means it's low cholesterol precursor for vitamin D in the skin. So many reasons that you can miss your important vitamin D. So why don't you have it checked? Because the studies show that low vitamin D is related to infections, death, and that studies lately to show that you supplement vitamin D to the people, turns out that it can reduce cancer death by 16%. So not only it can prevent infection, it prevents cancer, another disease that come from low immune system. How are you going to get vitamin D? If you want to do a sunshine, fine, 15 minutes every day. You can find vitamin D in cod liver oil, which actually is a supplement, but it's easier to take vitamin D. For some of you, to take vitamin D for a long time, 1,000 units a day should be sufficient. But some of you who never take vitamin D and vitamin D in the blood is very low, you should start with 5,000 units right now. You can find some multivitamins that contain vitamin D at low amounts. So if you take it for a long time, it should be fine. Or you can use the 1-hydroxyvitamin D3. Another good vitamin is vitamin C. You know, vitamin C is not accumulated in your blood all the time, so it means you have to take it every day because it comes and go and comes and go. The food containing vitamin C is citrus fruit and also green fresh vegetables. So when you drink pasteurized fruit juice, it's barely contains vitamin C. So you need to find something like fresh green vegetables. In Thailand, we have cilantro, which I like, contain a lot of vitamin C, or spinach, okay, if you can find one, broccoli. And also, if you want to drink orange juice, I recommend you just eat the whole orange to get vitamin C. A lot of vitamin C for the immune system, but the one important thing is help you to make interferon alpha, which is the important things that you can fight against viral infection. Zinc is another supplement that is so important for immune system. Actually, we have zinc in just about all kind of food. Meat, everybody eat meat, whole grain, seed and nuts. However, older people, they barely eat meat. And sometimes they don't eat whole grains. For vegetarian people, you need to look for whole grains, not just vegetable. And also in the environment right now, this is toxic. Cadmium will replace things in our body, and you can get the relative zinc depletions because of the cadmium intoxication. I'd like to ask you to be precautious, but not panic, because we have a chance to die from stress-related illness than influenza right now. Stress is our cause of disease, infections, and cancer. You may not know that Thailand suicidal rate is #1 in Asian country. And during the past month, someone killed themselves because they're so afraid of COVID. Because people spread fear, and someone killed themselves because they don't have money to make a living. So let me confirm that we will survive. Humanity has passed through many times of pandemics, and we all survive. Not because of vaccination, but because our immune system help us to survive. So this is what I've been doing. It could be my advice, but like I said, I cannot ask you to believe my advice. I just hope that you think about it. I try to eat real food, not just the packaged food. Real food, fresh cooked. I cook it myself. But during this time of pandemic, you stay at home, you tend to eat too much. Please eat only 2 meals a day. You cannot get fat during this time. You need to continue eating fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. If you're so worried, you can clean it with baking soda. You should walk in the sun, but keep a distance. Drink alkaline water, such as mineral water, and more green tea. I always take vitamin D, C, and zinc. And I always stay calm. I don't lose my tempers, and I'm listening to people who try to spread fear. And if someone tries to spread fear, you should ignore them because it doesn't help. Keep busy. Do something. You may be able to finish your dream projects. Something you dream to do. Think about your business. Think about what you're going to do next when the whole world is open up for you. what you're going to do next, makes a plan. And remember one thing, you can not ask people to save your financial problems. You are your own savior. You can be the only one who knows what you can do, what you cannot, but you cannot give up. And remember, no job is too small. You know, there's a medical students who start working part-time at 7-Eleven right now, and then admire them, because after all, we are all survivors. But for some of you, or many of you who listen to this message, and you know you do just fine, you don't worry about your money or financial problem, please help others. How are we going to survive if no one help each other? We will survive, because if you're lucky enough to live in Thailand, you know, we have plenty of food, and Thai people are kind. So will we survive? Oh, yes, definitely. I'd like to end my talk by telling you that yesterday is mystery, tomorrow is history, today is a gift. That's why you call it present. You can learn from the past, you can plan to the futures, but you have to live in today. I know what I'm telling you today is like thinking outside the box about the immune system. You never heard of it, but it's true, it's real. And any one of you who want these PowerPoint slides, you can contact my team at www.heatantiaging.com. Thank you for listening. ขอบคุณมากครับ